The sun dipped low across the Arizona plains, scorching the hard-packed earth and splashing gold across the lonely homestead of Ethan Cole, a quiet rancher whose life was as predictable as the creak of his porch boards at dusk. He wasn't a man seeking trouble. He'd grown up surviving by minding his own business, but fate had other plans the morning he found two young Apache girls, exhausted, dust-covered, and trembling near the edge of his property. Their Mustangs were spent, and the tracks behind them made it clear someone had been chasing them. White riders, greedy for land and revenge, after a dispute over stolen cattle that had nothing to do with the girls. Ethan, realizing instantly that the children were innocent and terrified, ushered them inside, giving them water, food, and a place to hide until danger passed. He didn't ask questions. Doing the right thing didn't require any. Hours later, after the riders left empty-handed, the girls thanked Ethan with quiet nods filled with meaning far beyond their young years. They rode away at dawn, disappearing into the desert like shadows at sunrise. Ethan expected life to go back to normal, but normal died 3 days later, when the sound of drums, hooves, and war cries thundered across the plains. He stepped outside to find the horizon alive with movement. A massive Apache patrol, warriors in full paint, feathers, spears, and rifles surrounding his house in a perfect circle stretching half a mile wide. Dust rose beneath hundreds of hooves, the ground trembling beneath the weight of their presence. Ethan's breath caught in his throat. Had he unknowingly violated a tribal rule? Was helping the girls seen as interference? Was this the end for him? The Apache weren't shouting, nor attacking. They waited in eerie, respectful silence, eyes fixed on him like he was the center of a ceremony he didn't understand. Then, through the line of riders, a tall figure approached, Chief Tasunki, powerful and respected, with lines of wisdom etched into his face. Behind him, the two girls Ethan had helped peeked out shyly from horseback. The chief dismounted with the grace of a hawk landing on stone and spoke in a deep, steady voice that echoed across the land. "You gave protection to the daughters of my people," he said. "For that we surround your home not in wrath, but in honor." Ethan blinked, stunned. Warriors raised weapons not to threaten but to salute. The girls presented him with a hand-woven blanket bearing sacred colors, and Tasunki declared that Ethan would forever be a friend of the Apache, watched over and defended. Some warriors even dismounted, offering gifts of food, pelts, and carved talismans. Ethan's fear melted into humbled gratitude, as he realized that a simple act of kindness had built a bridge between worlds long, divided by blood and distrust. As the patrol encircled him in what felt like a powerful, ancient ritual of acceptance, he felt something shift inside him, a moment so profound it demanded to be shared. And for those hearing this story, witnessing this transformation, Ethan's voice echoes through time. If you want more stories of courage, honor, and unexpected alliances in the wild frontier, hit that subscribe button and ride with us into the following morning. Ethan awoke to find the Apache patrol still standing guard around his ranch. But now the atmosphere felt different, calmer, purposeful, like a gathering before a celebration, rather than a tense standoff. Smoke from cook fires drifted through the air, carrying the scents of roasted maize and juniper. The girls he had rescued, Nayeli and Suni, ran up to him with bright smiles, clearly more comfortable now that the tribe had embraced him. Chief Tasunki invited Ethan to a ceremonial gathering just outside his ranch boundary, a place where the earth bore the sacred imprint of countless generations. There, surrounded by warriors, mothers, elders, and children, Ethan was presented with a carved wooden staff, symbol of a watcher, a protector, someone who belonged to the land rather than sought to take it. But as the celebration unfolded, a darker reality loomed on the horizon. The same white riders who had hunted the girls were now rallying others, furious that an Apache friend rancher had dared interfere with their plans. Word carried fast across the plains, and before sunset a dust plume rose from the north, horsemen armed and heading straight for Ethan's homestead. He warned the chief, but Tasunki simply nodded. "You protected ours," he said. "Now we protect yours." In a matter of minutes, the Apache patrol shifted from ceremonial peace to battle-ready vigilance. Warriors dismounted, spreading across the property with practiced efficiency. Some took positions atop the barn roof, others hid behind the water barrels and fences, while the strongest warriors took the front line near the dirt road, leading to Ethan's gate. Ethan himself stood beside them, rifle in hand. Heart pounding, not out of fear, but out of a sense of belonging he had never known. When the white riders arrived, expecting to intimidate a lone rancher, they froze at the sight of over 100 Apache warriors staring them down with cold, unwavering silence. The confrontation was tense, until Tasunki rode forward and delivered a single statement that carried more weight than 1,000 threats. These lands are watched. These children are safe. This man is under our protection. The riders exchanged uneasy glances, realizing the battle they thought they wanted was won. They could not win, not today, not against a united force bound by honor. They turned back, defeated not by violence but by the unbreakable wall of solidarity standing before them. As they retreated, Ethan felt the Apache patrol surround him once again. But this time it felt like family closing ranks around one of their own. The chief placed a hand on Ethan's shoulder. "A man's worth," he said, "is seen in the moments he thinks no one is watching." The rest of the evening was filled with music, laughter, and shared stories beneath the desert stars. Children danced, warriors retold tales of bravery, and Ethan found himself embraced into a culture he had once known only from dusty distance. When dawn finally broke and the Apache patrol prepared to return to their territory, the chief looked back one final time. "If ever you call," he said, "the mountains themselves will carry your voice to us." And like that, the patrol disappeared into the horizon, leaving Ethan's ranch forever changed, no longer a lonely home, but a symbol of respect between two worlds. And for those listening, those imagining the thunder of hooves and the glow of campfires under the vast frontier sky, Ethan leaves a final message. For more powerful stories like this, stories of loyalty, courage, and unlikely brotherhood, don't forget to subscribe and be part of our growing frontier family.